The least populated state in America just happens to have some of the most amazing trout fishing in the world, and that state is Wyoming. In this video, I visited the state with the goal of completing their Cutthroat Slam, which involves catching the Yellowstone, Bonneville, Snake River, and Colorado River cutthroat trout. Challenges like this are always fun because they bring you to areas you'd never normally visit, and this one is no different. From fishing creeks that wind through beautiful alpine meadows to enjoying the backdrop of some of the most famous mountains in the world, and ending it fishing what I consider to be the most insane place I've ever caught a trout. This video has it all. Enjoy. So today I am in Wyoming, which I've wanted to come to Wyoming for a very long time, so it's really cool to finally be here. Gorgeous state. And the first fish that I'm going to try to catch is down in this valley behind me, and is the Yellowstone cutthroat trout. So I'm going to be fishing for it for probably 2 days, just because it's such an iconic fish in my mind. This creek's not very big. I'm hoping to just catch some really pretty looking cutthroat. That's the goal. I really have no idea what to expect. I don't even really know if they're in here. From the research I've done, they should be in here, and that's what I'm going off of. So hopefully when we hike down in here, I'll actually be able to find some cutthroat and have some fun with it. If not, I have one other creek that I want to try today that has a pretty cool waterfall on it. So yeah, let's see how it goes. All right guys, so I just came up to the creek here, and I can already see, dozens of trout. I assume cutthroat swimming around in circles. So I think this is a good choice. This creek's kind of oddly colored, like it's just got it's very I don't know. I don't want to say tannic, but it's just got like a little bit of a weird coloration to it, which is pretty cool. For each of these fish, I'm going to give you a few facts as I start fishing for them, and the first is the Yellowstone cutthroat trout. This is arguably one of the most famous trout not only in Wyoming, but all of the western US. The Yellowstone cutthroat is native to the Snake River, Falls River, and Yellowstone River, which encompasses parts of Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, Utah, and Nevada. They live between 6 to 12 years on average, although the oldest cutthroat in Yellowstone was found to be around 16 years old. They can get pretty big, with the current record being 31 inches long, which is pretty impressive for a native cutthroat trout. Their numbers declined significantly after the introduction of the lake trout, which caused a massive crash in the population, specifically in the Yellowstone River. Some reports were that as many as 70,000 cutthroat would spawn at the mouth of a single feeder stream, and that number has dropped to around 500 in the early 2000s. The numbers are rebounding though, but slowly, with around 700 fish now entering the streams to spawn. This is just the story of one drainage though, with around 43% of their historic range still being occupied, and reintroduction efforts happening across their range. They are not on the endangered species list, but most of the areas where these fish live require catch and release fishing to allow these numbers to continue to rebound. Yes! That's a good one. That's the type of fish I was looking for. I can't reach him. No. Yes! That's a beautiful fish. So guys, I'm having to cast like way ahead of these fish. But when I get the right cast in there at a distance, they seem to eat it pretty quickly. It's just tough because the hardest part is getting in here without spooking them. It's a gorgeous trout though. This is kind of what I expected cutthroat fishing to be in Wyoming. Fish after fish after fish. And that was cool. Such a gorgeous fish. My gracious. Whoa, it's a big one. Oh my gosh. That's cool. I didn't know it was that big. I couldn't see it. It's really dark colored too. Look how much darker this one is than those others I was catching. So much darker. All right guys, I'm gonna cast in this hole again. I can see a couple in there. Probably catch this one here. Hope he denied me. Denied me again. Denied me again. That's so funny, dude. I'll go up a little higher. Something ate me. Just gonna go for the head of the hole, just because I don't think that fish is very big. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, that's a cool fish too. It's a good one. Yes, that's a pretty fish too. Golly, that might be my biggest one yet. Thanks, buddy. You're awesome. See you, Mr. Yellowstone. That's awesome. Woo! Oh, see you, buddy. Why? Just saw fish run all the way down the creek. Didn't even do anything to him. Another one spooked. You're going crazy. Maybe it's just because of the angle of this bank. The fish are sitting in shallower water and stuff. So, oh, that was such a cool eat. That was awesome. These fish are awesome. I love cutthroat fishing, man. I don't know if it's because I just don't get to do it much or what the deal is, but cutthroat fishing to me is just elite trout fishing. Perfect. Right out of this shallow run too. It wasn't even a deep pocket. Bunch of fish spooking around. I thought it was over. Wrong. Oh, that was so cool. I watched that fish swim down the creek, and then my fly hit the water. He came out, ate it. That was sweet. Thanks, buddy. That's cool. Gosh, that is a yellow sucker too. Look at that thing. Pretty. Hey guys, I'll switch to the side of the creek. See if I can't get another one in here somewhere. I know there's a bunch of fish going up through this section. There should be a bunch of fish. Yep. Oh, I missed him. Oh no, that's my bad, man. Got him again. He came back and ate it. That's crazy. That's funny, man. Whoa, look how much color this fish has. He ate it twice. That's so funny. What am I stuck on here? It's a good fish too, honestly. Very nice fish. Woo! That fish ate it twice. I don't know how well you guys could see what's going on, but that fish ate once. I set the hook, missed him. That sucker came back and had a second. I went for seconds. Gosh, dude. Look at that fella. Thanks, dude. such a nice fish. The wind is killing me right now. Golly, the fish is going nuts. And the wind is just wrecking me. Come on, if I can just get the fly in the water. Dude, I'm losing it. Oh, he's such a good fish. He's going crazy. He's eating everything. If I can get in there, he's gonna eat this fly again. That's too far back for him. No way. Okay. What is going on now? In the hunt for the big fish, I have somehow wrapped myself. That big fish is still up there. I can see him clear as day. Just got to get it into his zone. He's gonna eat that fly. I knew he would. That's a big one too. I knew he was gonna eat that fly. It's probably the biggest of the day. Come here, buddy. Yeah, it's a giant. I mean, maybe not for Yellowstone cutthroat, but for that fish, I went through crap to catch that fish. Chill, buddy. Chill for 1 second. I know, I'm gonna let you go in 1 second. Literally half a second goes by.
After catching that Yellowstone cutthroat trout, I figured it was time to hike out of there. I honestly think that fish was about as good as it was going to get in that tiny spring creek anyways, so I was happy to end it off there. My first ever fishing trip in Wyoming had been a success and far exceeded even my lofty expectations. The next day brought me to an entirely different mountain range and to a creek that was totally different than the tiny creek I'd fished the day prior. This creek almost appeared to be at the tail end of runoff and was an equally incredible fishing experience to the previous day.
Alright guys, so day 2 chasing the Yellowstone cutthroat. I'm at a creek here. Obviously I've never been to any of these creeks, but I heard through the grapevine, and by the grapevine I mean through the fly shops, that there's like 98.9 or 99% pure Yellowstone cutthroat in this creek, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So anyways, let's get into it. Oh my gosh. Alright guys, we're here. It looks slightly off-colored more than I thought it was going to be. Which might mean I'm going to have to change my flies because the water's not clear. Which I'm kind of surprised with, but not totally. But I can switch. I do have other flies I could try. Big one. Already got a good one. Got a good one already. On the dry fly. Come on, buddy. Yeah, that took exactly 1 cast. Oh, that's so cool. Heck yes. Dude, this creek is awesome! Another big cutthroat, dude. I mean, maybe this isn't that big for this creek, but dude, chill, buddy. Good gracious, man. Look at that Yellowstone cutter. Gosh, that's awesome. All right, guys, second one of the day. Beautiful fish. Thanks, dude. That was awesome. He ate this really shallow stuff. Kind of surprising. Oh, this creek is already cooler than I could have ever imagined. Just cutthroat are just so cool to me. I don't know how to describe why I like cutthroat so much other than just tell you that I do. They're just so cool. Where they sit, where they live, how they'll sit in just like shallow stuff, how slowly they eat. Like that one, just another one just ate. It's the third one now. Another one. 3 of them already. I haven't even done anything. I literally just got to the creek. I mean, come on now. 3 of them. And look at this. 3. Perfect, just perfect cutthroat. Thanks, buddy. Sorry for messing with you. All right, guys, so the rod I've been using for this series so far, the Western Trout series, is this guideline elevation. Is a 723 weight. I've got their reel on it as well, and it's just a really well handling, perfect rod for these smaller creeks. And I have the Cortland ultralight fly line on it, 3 weight, and then I'm just using some bug that I got from a local fly shop today. And I've already caught a bunch of cutthroats, so I'm happy. See if we can't catch another one or two, eh? All right, guys, so far, knock on wood, this has been a really easy creek to fish. It's also been really fun to fish. And that, like, there's been a lot of fish in a lot of different pockets. So we'll see if I can keep that streak going. Nothing here. I'm a little surprised by that. There we go. Like I said, there's gonna be one there somewhere. Come here, buddy. Got him. Beautiful little fish, man. I love this. It's awesome. Beautiful, beautiful fish. Thanks, buddy. Loaded. Another one. Definitely not difficult to catch. They're fun. Look how that one's a really bright colored. That one's a really light colored one. Thanks, buddy. What a king, man. This is awesome. If there's not a fish on this pocket, I'll be shocked. Yep, I knew there would be. Every one of these soft pockets has a fish. I mean, this place is crazy loaded. Beautiful little cutting, man. Thanks. That's awesome. Hi-ya. That's a good one. That's a really good one. It's a better one right there. Right over that tree. My gosh, you can't hold these fish out hardly without fear of them. Woo! That's a beautiful one, man. Golly. This place is freaking sweet. My gosh, that was awesome. The fish was way up underneath that bank. Like literally under the bank. What a pretty cutthroat too. I mean, dude, that fish was like gone up in there where he ate. That was a cool catch. Beautiful fish. Does not get any better than that. I mean, look at that fish. Love cutthroat, man. Thanks, buddy. Just hooked a big one, guys. I literally just caught the other one, and this one is... Whoa! That one's awesome! That's the biggest, prettiest cutthroat I've caught. Yeah, I wasn't recording. I literally just stopped recording, turned, cast it up there, and I saw this behemoth of a Yellowstone come out of this thing. At least it's a behemoth to me. That's awesome, dude. Look at the size of that thing! Woo-hoo-hoo! Hey guys, I just wanted to say that big cutthroat I caught literally right here, like just in this pocket. I literally made that cast. He came out, ate it. I was like, as soon as I saw that fish rising on it, I was like, that's a big one. That just goes to show, like, oh, I just pulled one out of its mouth. That just goes to show what, like, the caliber of fish that live in here, though. There's some real nice fish. But I know that Yellowstone cutthroat get really big. Like, people catch 20-something inch Yellowstone cutties. So I knew that was always, like, catching a big one's always a possibility. And I actually really wouldn't mind going up and catching some big cutthroat, like, maybe, like, doing a little backcountry stuff in Yellowstone one time for some big cutthroat. But I'm just enjoying myself doing this right now. Pretty cool. Thanks, buddy. Oh, that's a bigger one. Aha! Another nice one. This is fun stuff, guys. I mean, this is like the definition of fun trout fishing to me. Oh, chill, buddy. Let me pop you off. Another just incredible cutthroat. Thanks, buddy. This hole right here looks pretty gnarly. Got a bunch of places a cutthroat could sit. We'll just start hitting them and see what happens. Oh yeah, good fish. Right off that rock. Come on, buddy, get in there. Yeah! He popped off in the net. Dude, that's a dark looking fish too. I don't know if you guys saw that fish come up and eat, but that's a pretty one. Look at the colors on that fish. Really dark, perfect one. Thanks, buddy. Catching more cutties than you can count. Ooh, that's a good one. Oh, where'd it go? Oh. Yeah. There we go. These things want to run downstream so bad. It's hilarious. We'll get the camera out for this one because I might call this the last fish before we get rained on.
I ended up calling that fish the last of the day, mostly because there was a bad thunderstorm brewing and I didn't want to get caught out in it. I had also caught so many fish, many of which I didn't even film, in such a relatively short section of creek that it was hard to believe. This place was truly loaded with these Yellowstone cutthroat trout, and if it weren't for the local fly shops, I probably never would have fished it. So there you have it. 2 days of fishing for Yellowstone cutthroat trout in 2 completely different creeks. Both produced some incredible fish and enabled me to check the Yellowstone cutthroat trout off the list. But I wasn't done, because I still had a goal of completing the Wyoming cutthroat slam during this trip, which meant I had 3 more cutthroat species to knock off the list and 3 more days to do it. So I hit the road, ready to see what else Wyoming had in store for me.
Alright guys, so it's kind of windy this morning, but I'm out here on a creek here behind me. And the goal is to catch the Snake River fine spotted cutthroat, which I think is just maybe a derivative of the Yellowstone cutthroat, I'm not sure. But I'm really excited to fish for a new species, knock another one off the list. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. All I know is that the creek looks freaking sweet, so we'll see if I can't find a fish or 2 in it.
The next fish on the list is the Snake River fine spotted cutthroat trout. This cutthroat trout is actually just a variation of the Yellowstone cutthroat trout, with finer and more dense spots than their counterparts one valley over. It is believed that at some points in the life history of these fish, there was some movement across the Continental Divide, specifically around the Parting of Waters, which is a natural landmark where one stream splits and drains into both the Pacific Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico. The fish are managed differently, however, due mainly to the difference in appearance and not because of any major genetic differences. Because these fish are so similar to the Yellowstone cutthroat, they live to be about the same age, which is 6 to 12 years. and get rather large, with the record being over 30 inches. They are the official state fish of Idaho and are only native to Wyoming and Idaho, although the fish has been stocked in states like Colorado where fish as large as 33 inches have been caught. They are not on the endangered species list, although most areas do require catch and release fishing.
Alright guys, so just fished up this creek a little while. It's beautiful, but I only caught brown trout, and I don't know. Especially when I'm fishing for cutthroat, if I'm fighting the non-native species, it just doesn't inspire confidence. So I'm gonna hike out of here. We're gonna try a different creek and just see if we can't find fine spotted Snake River cutties somewhere. But yeah, hopes are still high, but this creek ain't it. All right guys, so I'm just gonna try to fish the main river for a little bit, just because a lot of these creeks are closed right now, and they're closed for the next probably 2 weeks or however long it is from now. Whoops. Maybe I shouldn't get stuck in the grass, that would help. So I'm gonna start trying to do that. And there's all sorts of fish in this river. It's a pretty legendary river. So we'll see if I can't get on the board with just a fish somewhere. It'd be pretty cool. I'm still using my 3-weight. I should pull out a bigger rod for this, and I probably will. But I just wanted to stop here and test out like what the fishing would be like, if I could even catch one, that is. It's kind of what I'm looking for. Like, can I even catch a fish in this river?
So here's the deal, and I'll just be honest with you because this happens from time to time when I make these long trips. But most of the creeks I wanted to fish were closed this time of year to allow the cutthroat to spawn. At least that's why I assumed they were closed. They should have been done spawning by now, but I think a lot of times it's shut down out of an abundance of caution. And the creeks that were open, I can only assume weren't the highest quality places to catch cutthroat, because if they had been, they'd probably have been shut down as well. This was one of those instances where I should have known this prior to coming to Wyoming, but sometimes there are just so many intricate regs, especially for native trout, that you just don't see them all. So basically what that meant is I was stuck fishing the main river in a few lower quality tribs, which dramatically dropped my expectations for the day once I realized that. Of course, I don't give up easily.
Oh my gosh, I got a fish. Is that a cutthroat? Might be a cutthroat, might be a cutthroat, might be a cutthroat, can't tell. Ate the nymph. Uh-oh. Looking cutthroaty. There it is. Snake River. Snake River cutty. Oh, that's awesome, man. That is so awesome. He ain't huge, but that's the Snake River cutthroat, man. Oops. See ya, buddy. Thanks for playing. Yes, dude. I'm starting to get sad, not because, I don't know, I don't really have a reason to get sad other than just I wanted to fish a small creek and catch fish, and I got my butt handed to me. But Snake River has produced the fish in which I desire, so that's pretty sweet. Gives me confidence now. Maybe I could just keep fishing the Snake River in different places and catch some of these cutthroat. It'd be awesome if I could. So we'll see. That was such a slow, like, weird take. I thought it was on the bottom. Apparently it wasn't. Apparently it was a fish. Yes! What are you? You cutthroat too? Let's freaking go, boys! Second Snake River cutty. They look very similar to the Yellowstone cutthroat, obviously. But at least I'm catching them. What an awesome fish. Thanks, buddy. Woo! Oh, it feels good to catch them, man.
I'm not going to pretend like I was catching a ton of fish, but I wasn't doing horribly either. At least I could say I knocked the Snake River cutthroat off the list, and the water was beautiful.
Yay! Finally. Took me a minute. They're all cutthroat, which is cool. Cutty though.
After catching that last fish though, I noticed some guys had gotten in the river above me, which meant I couldn't go up any further and it was time for me to get out of the river. It might be the least populated state in America, but it sure as heck doesn't have the least amount of fishermen. Anyways, I decided to try another creek just to switch it up a bit. Of course, after failing to catch a fish and getting rained on, I decided it would be best to just call it a day. I hadn't totally failed, but to call this day a success would be stretching the truth. At least I got to spend the day fishing in some incredible water and probably the prettiest country you could ever imagine. The next day I got up with the plan to chase Snake River cutthroat again, but after talking to a few fly shops and fishing one other creek, I decided it was best to just chase a new species. And that new species was the Bonneville cutthroat.
Alright guys, so we're going after the Bonneville cutthroat today. Earlier today I went back and tried to catch a few more of the Snake River fish, Snake River cutthroat, and caught one or two, but it just wasn't that great. So I moved on and I'm gonna try this small creek behind me for Bonneville cutthroat. Never caught a Bonneville cutthroat in my life. But I'm excited. That should be what's in here. I'm not saying there's not other species in there, but it should only be Bonneville cutthroat in here. So let's see how it goes, man. I'm excited. I'm excited to try a new species. All right, guys. Time to try to catch the Bonneville cutthroat.
The third fish on the list is the Bonneville cutthroat trout, which is actually Utah's state fish, even though I'm fishing for them in Wyoming. They were historically native to the giant and ancient Lake Bonneville, which covered large areas of Utah, Nevada, and Idaho, and has shrunk over the course of the last 20,000 plus years to what we now know as the Great Salt Lake. The fish is native to the Bonneville Basin though, which is essentially a giant basin that once held Lake Bonneville and encompasses Idaho, Nevada, Utah, and a small section of Wyoming. These trout are much more tolerant to warm waters due to the temperatures in their native range, with fish being able to survive waters up to 76 degrees Fahrenheit. These fish historically got really large, with fish exceeding 15 pounds and 35 inches. However, the current records are a little bit smaller, with Utah's record being 10 pounds and 2 ounces. This is due mostly to a shrinking of habitat, forcing the fish to occupy smaller creeks and rivers, much like what you're seeing me fish. The average life expectancy for these fish is around 7 to 8 years, and these fish are not on the endangered species list, although they do only occupy about 39% of their native range.
Make sure, but looks like a little Bonneville cutthroat. Let's catch a little bit bigger one just to confirm that though. Oh yeah, it's a better fish. Oh yeah, that's what we're looking for. Fish scattering everywhere. The Bonneville cutthroat hits the net, baby. Yes, man. That's so cool. These definitely look different than those Snake River cutthroat that have the really small spots. These are more, spots are more pronounced. Look at that though. Just a cool little cutthroat. It looks a lot like a rainbow, kind of, but the only thing that should be in here, a Bonneville cutthroat. That's a Bonneville. Thanks, buddy. Sweet, man. Oh, another one. Another good fish, too. Oh, he's fighting. Oh my gosh. You ever seen a cutthroat fight like this? Jeez, dude. Oh, it's because I foul hooked him. That one's a pretty fish, though. My gosh. Look at the colors on that fish. Chill. Chill, dude. Chill. Look at the colors on that. That's incredible. Sorry for foul hooking you, buddy. Let me unpop you. I'm not even gonna mess with you. Thanks, dude. Sorry for that. Didn't mean to, obviously, but I have that on these big jobs. Let's go again. And re-roll again. Got that one. Keep them in the water there while I fight them. Just let them fight off a little bit. Hey there, little buddy. What you looking like? You pretty fella? Definitely a pretty looking fish. A lot more like par markings on these. I don't know if that's because these are younger or if that's just how these Bonneville cutthroat look, but it's definitely a cool little fish. God, dude, that's a big fish. Feels like, God, it's huge. It's a huge cutthroat. Oh my gosh, it's gigantic. Yes, dude. What? That thing's huge. That thing's gigantic. Oh my gosh. I've only just caught a Bonneville cutthroat for the first time like 5 minutes ago. But like if you look at the colors on him, look at this. He's got like these two spots, and this just really opaque color to him. Such a cool fish, but try to get this fish released and keep on going. Whoa, this hole's huge, dude. Problem is it's really not an easy hole to fish. At least not from a perspective of like getting my fly in the water without spooking all the fish in the hole. Because I know where he's gonna be. He's gonna be sucked way up underneath this undercut. If there is one, that is. Let's just throw over there and let it go. A couple fish following it out, but they didn't need it. They weren't very big either. Huh. Oh, missed one there. Sometimes I can't really see my fly very well. Oh, there we go. That was fun. There you go. Honestly, up until that last giant fish I caught, this would have been a really cool Bonneville for me, to be honest with you. Jeez. These fish are so colorful and so cool, man. That was such a nice fish too, unfortunately. I fear. What? There we go. My gosh. I don't even know if that's the same fish or not, but I thought I was never gonna catch that fish. Pretty one. Oh. Chill, buddy. Well, guys, I just found a 4-leaf clover. That cannot be a bad sign. We'll see what else this day has in store. Ah. That's so funny. Oh yeah, that's fish. Bonneville. My big dog Bonneville. What up, dude? What up, dude? Thanks, buddy. Where you going? That's so cool. Ow. Might be a bigger one in here. Let's see. It's not one exactly, but yes, dude, giant, 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 giant. giant cutthroat, giant cutthroat. Come on, dude. Woo! Giant cutthroat, dude. Let's go! Oh, giant cutty, buddy. Big daddy, dude. He ate it that time. No! I see him now. That's such a nice fish, man. Yes, that's a big one, dude. There's a good one. Right underneath that grass. Come on, dude. Come on in here. We're friends. Giant. All right, guys, so got back to the car, caught several really nice Bonneville cutthroat, which is honestly shocking that was, I didn't think that was going to be the biggest fish that I was going to catch this trip was going to be the Bonneville. Turns out it was. So anyways, we are going to head out of here. Had a blast fishing for the Bonneville. Tomorrow I'm going to be catching the Colorado River cutthroat in kind of the southern part of Wyoming. And that'll complete the cutthroat slams. So I've already caught the Yellowstone, the Snake River cutthroat, and then I just caught the Bonneville cutthroat, and then tomorrow I'm going to catch the Colorado River cutthroat. So it's going to be 4 days, 4 different species of cutthroat, and yeah, let's see if we can do it tomorrow.
As far as fishing the least populated state in America goes, I'd say it's pretty sweet. But I think of the less than 600,000 people in Wyoming, most seem to be into the outdoors. And the people who visit the state almost certainly are, meaning there is no shortage of fishermen. So I think if you're going to Wyoming to get away from outdoorsmen, you're sorely mistaken. But the area also has plenty of fish, and the Bonneville cutthroat impressed me. It seemed like if you could find the right hole in that creek, you'd have a chance at a good fish, but at times you'd struggle. I figured out eventually that a few stretches of that creek had some water that was relatively warm for cutthroat trout, and in turn I saw very few fish there and left. It's worth noting that most of that creek was really cold and was spring fed, but it seems specifically like below beaver dams there were some stretches where water had to have been in the mid to upper 60s, which isn't lethal but surely put the fish down. Either way, I was able to find good water and catch some good fish. As far as the Snake River cutthroat goes, I didn't do too well, but honestly from what I can read, the Snake River cutthroat and the Yellowstone cutthroat are the same species but with a different morphology. In other words, there's no real genetic difference between the two fish, they just look different. Having said that, Wyoming still has both fish on the list of species for their cutthroat slam, and I was happy to oblige. As I mentioned in the outro, the next fish to catch was the Colorado River cutthroat, and it took me to some of the weirdest habitat I've ever seen trout in.
So, obviously, the environment here has changed dramatically. I've been driving around for like legitimately an hour and a half, 2 hours, looking at 1 or 2 creeks that supposedly had fish in it. That is the Colorado River cutthroat. And let me just tell you, this is not trout habitat. And there are a couple spring creeks that do have water, but one I checked out was just like, oh gosh, it was awful. It had like just brown water in it. I don't know if it's from cattle or what it was from, but I came to this creek, and this creek actually has clear spring water in it. So I guess what I'm going to try to do here is come over here and just see if there's even cutthroat in it. There should be. I think there's even a catch and release regulation on this creek for cutthroat specifically, but as I said, it does not strike me as trout habitat, and there's not much water in this creek. It's really tiny, so we'll see. There's only one way to find out, and that's to try to fish it. All right, so look at this. There's like these little mini canyons. And then obviously the creek is right here. Doesn't look like the most trouty thing you'll ever see, but gotta give it a shot, that's for sure. You just never know. Cutthroat are weird. Oh, there's fish everywhere right there. I don't know if they're cutthroat, but there's fish there.
The final cutthroat on the list for the challenge is the Colorado River cutthroat trout. It is native to the Colorado River basin above the Grand Canyon, which encompasses Colorado, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, and a small portion of Wyoming. The fish is listed as a special species of concern in Colorado and only occupies about 12% of its original range, with most populations being isolated to headwater streams without access to other populations. According to one stat I found, less than 5% of the former range is populated by trout with a high level of genetic integrity, meaning these fish need all the help they can get. The trout's main issue lies in habitat loss and stream degradation caused by development, logging, mining, and livestock grazing. In fact, 62% of the robust populations of Colorado River cutthroat trout are in roadless areas, highlighting the need to keep roadless rules intact. They're the smallest of the cutthroat species I've fished for so far in Wyoming, with an average of only 8 inches, although the record in Utah is 17 inches. Since the small portion of Wyoming that holds the Colorado River cutthroat are just some small spring-fed streams in the high desert, this fish is considered the hardest trout of the cutthroat slam to catch. Finding them is difficult and the terrain is gnarly.
So, just fished that creek for a ways. I spooked a few fish, but they're just like little minnow type. I don't know what they were. I don't think they were trout, and if they were trout, they weren't catchable anyways. And I just didn't see anything. Maybe went, oh, I don't know, 100 yards maybe, not even. But usually with cutthroat, if I don't see something pretty quickly, then I don't really, and I'm not gonna fish it. And the reason being is that usually if you come up to a cutthroat stream and it's got a good population of cutthroat, you know pretty quickly. So I guess I'm gonna try a different creek. I'm just gonna drive around again. I mean, I don't know what else to do, because obviously I don't think there's any point in me going below this in this creek. And then there's one other creek that I haven't looked at the upper end of, but I guess I could look at that creek too. My confidence is not high right now, I'll be honest with you. Cool creek, cool water. Maybe there's cutthroat in it. Maybe they're in an upper section near a spring. I don't know what to do. I'll be honest, I'm at a loss.
I truly was at a loss. I had one last cutthroat to catch in Wyoming to complete the slam, which was the Colorado River cutthroat, and I had spent hours driving around and found a creek that didn't even have fish in it. And unfortunately, I only had one day to chase these fish, so failure was a real possibility in my head. There's also just not much water in Wyoming that holds these fish, and even the available data I was using was slim and apparently out of date. So I spent the next hour or two driving around once again, looking for good access to any creek that even had a vague chance of having a cutthroat in it. And what I found was pretty insane.
Alright guys, so a different creek. This creek does have some pretty water. This is really small though. Like arguably too small. But I gotta at least try it. Well. Oh my gosh. Got one. No way. No, I lost it! Bro. Okay, there's cutthroat in here. Let me get my stuff. Cutthroat! Dude, tiny water. I mean, look how small this is, guys. But there's cutthroat in it, and that's all I need to know. Like, if there's cutthroat, we'll catch them. I will catch them if they are in there. Cool, I just saw another one. Sweet, cool, awesome, done. Yes! Dude, I was so concerned I wasn't gonna catch a Colorado River cutthroat in Wyoming. And I finally found it. Let's go, dude! Alrighty. This creek is so tiny that, like, the hardest thing is legitimately just gonna be getting the fly into the water. Like, this right here, I don't know that I can get the fly in the water here. Spooked one. Let's still cast up there, see if he eats. I don't think I hit the water. I didn't. Oh my gosh. Can't even boat cast in the water here, boys. Lose my mind. I mean, like, I can't even see the creek here. Yes! I can't even see the water. Oh, that's so funny. I literally dropped it into a spot I couldn't even see the water. And I heard a little splash. And that, my friends, is a Colorado River cutthroat in Wyoming. So, can't be too upset about it. Look at that fella. Chill, buddy. Colorado River. See you, buddy. Thanks. Okay, let's see if we can find some more. All right, guys, so this was small creek fishing to the extreme, but I literally dropped my fly in this hole here. You see there's just a trickle of water right here, and this fish ate somewhere in here. I don't know where. I mean, that's just silly. But, I mean, you can't really see the water, so, like, what else are you supposed to do? Obviously, it has cutthroat in it. So anywhere, any one of these places where there's, like, a semi-hole, it's like, you got to drop it in there and just see what happens. But I can't even, like, fish it the way I normally would. You can't even cast, really, because if you cast, your fly won't hit the water. Got one. No, come on. Yes, that's a much better one. I actually saw that fish and I wasn't sure that it was a fish, but it ended up being one. All right, guys, let's take a look at this fish. For the size of the creek that I'm fishing, chill, buddy. That is a incredibly sized fish. Beautiful. He's got like a pinkish belly. His fins are kind of pinkish. Look at that. It's just a perfect little cutthroat here. Doesn't get any better than that, especially when you consider that, I mean, I'm fishing a creek that's like, I mean, literally my net is sitting across the creek. That's how small it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this fish unhooked and let him go. Oops. You serious, dude? Okay. It's too far, I think.
Got him.
Wait, where's my net? Got him! Ooh. Colorado Cutty in Wyoming. Cool looking hole there. I don't know if I can get the water through the hole. Oh! Oh! That fish is never gonna eat again, and I'll never make that cast again. But that was crazy. You know what? I will try it again, actually. I ain't scared. If I get stuck, I get stuck. I know he wouldn't come back for it. Wasn't very big anyways. Next. Thought I have a fish, surely. If I hit the water, I'd have a fish. Yep. There we go. I knew there'd be one in that hole. Good spot. So like holes like this, guys, and a creek like this is magical. That's awesome. It's about as small as a creek as I've fished and caught trout out of, I think, honestly. And like, they're not terrible fish. I mean, that's not a terrible cutthroat for the size of the creek. He ate that fly too, bro. Really, that's shocking. Gosh, dude, there's some good holes. I just can't see the water. It's like infuriating. Oh, there's one. Tiny little pocket. I mean, the whole creek's tiny, but you know what I mean. Pretty fella. Relax, Mr. Colorado River Cutty. Thanks for playing. You're awesome. All right, guys, so there's a really big hole right here. So if I get lucky, I might be able to find a slightly better fish. At least that's what we're gonna go for. It's a really deep, deep, deep pocket. So if there's ever gonna be a big fish, it'd be in a spot like this. Begging. That's the type of fish we're looking for. Stay on, dude. Yes, dude. Let's go. It's a better one. The type of fish I was looking for. Look how pretty he is. Dude, look at his belly. Look at that. Wow. I see a really good fish, guys. If I can get this fly in the water, he'll eat. I'm sure of it. This is nuts. Just up here just a tad so I can see. Please get to the water, fly, please. Got him, got him, got him. Oh my gosh. I didn't even know he had eaten it. Yes, dude. Such a nice fish, man. Oh my gosh, I didn't know he had eaten it. I was like, the fly should be in front of him, but I couldn't see him. Oh my gosh. What an awesome fish, man. To be catching cutthroat like this in such a small pocket is incredible. So freaking sweet, man. Got it?
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Get off that grass. Oh, gosh, yes. Aha! Another one.
And that's where I ended my day chasing the Colorado River cutthroat trout, which was the last fish in the Wyoming Cutthroat Slam. There's just no shortage of accolades I can give to Wyoming, and it's honestly probably one of my favorite states I've visited so far. It has lots of public land, remote places, and beautiful fish to catch. A week or so after we got back from our trip, my wife and I both submitted our Cut Slam application to Wyoming. And within a week, we got our confirmation back. That's right, my wife also completed the Cutthroat Slam with me, which I honestly should have videoed some of. Shortly thereafter, we got our certificates in the mail along with a solid commemorative coin and a sticker. Obviously, that's not why we completed the challenge, but it's a good way to commemorate the memory, and as I type this outro out, I can look over and see the certificates framed and hanging on the wall, which just signifies how incredible the summer of 25 was. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below, and as always, thanks for watching.